Welcome back for another video with me, the Spiritual Witch, and Eclipse, my baby. Say hi, Kipsy. Hello, hello. She loved that. Today I want to share with you some thoughts on authenticity. What a huge topic, right? Authenticity. What the heck and Bob is authenticity? You were born as an original, authentic you. And you're original to this planet. There is nobody else on the planet like you, and there never will be again. And that's a pretty cool thought. Until we move out of childhood into our teenage years and start putting on the show and trying to figure things out, right? In today's day and age, it feels like we just keep scooting further and further away from people being authentic. And I think that the reason for that is that it's safer. It's safer to kind of do the thing that's gonna make you fit in. I think as we continue to move forward, more and more people are gonna start breaking free of this pressure to conform and to be in the same box with everyone else. But we need to move away from this fear of, like back in primal times, of being a tribe member. Because back in those days, it was really, really important. If you didn't fit in, then you risked being killed or you didn't eat. That's not where we are anymore. It's okay to actually be you and be original and be authentically what you were designed to be. As children, hopefully you had a good set of parents or caregivers that gave you the fundamentals, this is right, this is wrong, and that kind of thing. So you had the foundation to start to get to know yourself and form your own opinions and then merge into that ego. And then things just start to layer. So it's not always easy. And as a teenager, you grow up and you have the peer pressure, and if your friends are doing a certain thing and you don't do that certain thing, then you're cast out or you're not fun or whatever the case is. I was raised in a pretty religious, not household, but my grandmother was extremely, extremely religious. She was Church of God. And you don't cut your hair, you don't wear makeup, you don't pierce your ears, you wear dresses all the time, you go to church every Sunday. I couldn't even say shoot because it sounded too much like another word. My point in telling you is that my grandmother was incredibly important to me. And so I had very, very good, morals and standards. And I was the typical good girl. And when I got to be about 10 years old or so, in my home, I didn't have to wear dresses. My mother, my dad did not make me wear dresses all the time. I could wear shorts, I could wear jeans, I could just be me. But when it came to time to go visit my grandmother, I had to completely change. And I would take all this stuff, all these, my personality, I took it and I boxed it and I hid it away because I didn't want to let my grandmother down, And so I'd put on this facade. And I remember going to see her. We lived about an hour and a half away from where she lived. And I had painted my nails. And I remember sitting in the back seat and I panicked. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's gonna see my nail polish. So I started just vigorously, I think this lighting is changing. Ooh, there we go. The sun keeps coming in and out of the clouds. But I started scratching and scraping off this fingernail polish, and I was so nervous. I couldn't let her see it. And I remember my mom turning around and saying to me, you're not going to get all of the fingernail polish off. She's going to see little chips and pieces here and there. And I think that she would respect you more if you were just honest. Just leave the nail polish on. And she, for the first time I heard the word hypocrite. And I didn't like that, and so I left it on. And when I got there, I remember she was definitely a little bit reserved, but she ultimately accepted it, and she told me that it looked pretty. So that was the first time that I really was sort of confronted with my own inauthenticity. And from that point on, it became very important for me to show up for my feelings. And that's essentially what authenticity is, and that's how it will present itself to you. Our thinking mind will guide us to do things that we think we should do. And I had all these thoughts built up in my mind as to how my grandmother was going to receive me having fingernail polish on. And if I had just gone with my feelings and expressed to her how much I really liked it, I would have saved myself a whole lot of time in the past, being hypocritical. So that's ultimately, I think, what authenticity is. From the time that you're born and you've developed this sort of personality and you're kind of a firm character and you kind of sort of know who you are, you will get feelings when you step out of alignment from your authenticity. It's literally just a gut feeling, and it's an intuitive feeling. Another scenario is when I was growing up as a teenager, I would have friends invite me to parties. I was known as the good girl. Again, that structure from my grandmother, being very religious, and I was really proud of it, honestly. I can't say that I wasn't. I was very reserved, and I wasn't a party girl, if you know what I mean. And I stuck with my gut feeling on how to act around guys and how to present myself at these gatherings or these parties. Needless to say, at that time growing up, guys will be guys, and I didn't get a lot of attention because I was the little wallflower. And I remember coming to my mom quite often, and I would be crying and saying, the guys just don't like me, and they always go for such and such and not me. And I remember my mother telling me, "Don't you worry, baby girl," she said, "you are the good girl, and the lasting relationships that the guys are looking for, they're going to come to you. They do want, ultimately, at the end of the day, they want the good girl." That's true. That's very true, at least in my experience and from what I know. Being authentic isn't always easy, but that is what's going to give you lasting happiness. If you do what you think you should do to get accepted or to be liked by everybody else, and that's not really who you are inside, you're just going to suffer. And you might get a temporary joy or excitement or satisfaction out of a choice that you make based on an outcome, but the outcome's only going to last a short while, and then you're going to go back to feeling guilty and sort of disharmonious because you made choices and acted in a way that was not in alignment with your authenticity. And I think, as time goes on, as I said, the world is becoming it's like a bunch of clones everywhere. It's okay to fit in, and it's okay to be part of something, but be part of something being you. And the rest of your entire life is going to be figuring out who you are. We never really know, and that's part of the fun. But just always stay true to that compass within. And that goes with your craft as well. You can read books, and you can watch YouTube videos, and you can be in covens or spiritual groups, and if parts of it do not fit for you, then shed those parts and just make your spiritual journey yours, and love that, and know that you are an authentic individual. So at the end of the day, I think that the most important thing is to trust you. Trust that inner compass and that inner navigational system that's trying so desperately to guide you in your choices. Remember, it's not a thought that is necessarily in charge. Follow your feelings. Listen to your feelings. And just be you. Just be your beautiful, authentic self in every way that you show up in life. So, that being said, thank you so much for spending some time with me. And as always, stay magical and be blessed. Until next time, bye.